What's up everyone, how's it going? This is Waj and I'm very excited to present to you guys today the unboxing, first flight and overview of the all new 3DR Robotics Solo smart drone. Now there's a lot of quadricopters out there, but one of the things that makes this thing really cool is the fact that it has native GoPro support as well as a lot of different technology that no other drone in this category has. So let's see what comes inside the box, and then eventually we're gonna go out and take this thing for a first flight outside. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is just open these tabs right over here. And it kind of comes in this clamshell with some straps, which is really nice. Ooh, it seems like it has kind of its own case. So I definitely like the packaging. This kind of looks like a case, but it's actually the same material that you find in an egg carton. But it should be a nice place to store the drone when it's not in use. And there it is right there. So we'll take this thing out, and it feels kind of heavy. Battery's kind of semi in place. And in terms of battery, it's a 5200 milliamp hour battery. So we'll see what the actual flight time is like. But let's see what else comes inside the box. Looks like we have the controller over here. There's a lot of features about the controller. We'll take a look at that in depth, but looks like it's already on. Very nice. Then we'll see what's in this box right over here. Let's check it out. All right, looks like we have some paperwork probably in here. Yep, these are actually decals, some safety information. And then we have the power adapter for the charger itself. And right over here we have a quick start guide. So unfortunately this unit does not come with the 3-axis gimbal. You're going to have to buy that as a separate purchase. I'm still waiting on mine to come in. So right now it just has that passive GoPro Hero mount. But pretty simple in terms of getting the thing up in the air. And looks like we have these props over here. And another power adapter as well. So let's put these props onto the drone. Okay, so installing the props is really easy. All the props are color coordinated to the corresponding motor, and you basically just turn them in and they just tighten just like that. So very easy and straightforward to put these on. And by the way, it looks like we have 2 extra props, which is definitely very nice. These props are fairly tough. They're fiberglass enforced. They're made out of nylon, so they should be pretty resilient to the most things that you're going to come across unless you have a major accident. Now next, let's install our battery over here. And it's pretty simple and straightforward right there. Looks like we have a little indicator light as well for how much juice we have left. Very nice. And a little release mechanism to take out the battery is right there. So really nice design. Everything feels really solid as well on this drone. Take a look at the back. We have our GoPro mount right there already installed. This is a passive mount, so your footage is going to be fairly shaky with this. And right over here is a really interesting port. This is an accessory port, so developers can make hardware for this specific drone. Really going to be interesting to see what different things come out. Now, in terms of LED lights, we have 4 LED lights like we do on the Phantom series of drones, so very similar design there. And generally speaking, it looks very clean, looks very sleek, and definitely a fan of the look of this drone. Now it looks like charging your battery is fairly easy and straightforward. Just take the plug that's connected to the power supply and just connect it right there, and you should be all charging. Now let's talk about the controller that comes with the 3DR drone. Basically you have 2 thumbsticks just like every other controller out there. They feel really nice and responsive, very tactile, and pretty much up there with what you would find with a Phantom drone controller. Now in terms of button layout, we have 2 AB customizable buttons, so you can specifically command the function of those 2 buttons. You have a power button right there. Now right beside that we have a fly button, so if you hold it once when the drone is off, it'll start to turn the props, and then hold it again, it'll take it off into the air. You can also bring it in for a landing using that same button. You have a return to home button as well as an air brake feature, which is definitely going to be handy. So if you see an obstacle that you can't avoid, hit that button and theoretically the drone should stop right then and there. Now you have two antennae right there, and over here we have some trigger controls. So this is for your camera angle and tilt adjustments. You also have some fine tilt adjustment right there for the 3-axis gimbal. We have some camera angle presets, which is nice. And right in the center of that, you have a mini HDMI connection, which is going to be great if you want to monitor your video feed in HD, or as well as use some kind of goggles to kind of give a first-person perspective. Right behind there, we have probably some battery information right there. So that's really nice. You can actually swap out different batteries. So if you're in the field, buy a whole bunch of these batteries and keep going without having to charge it. Really nice feature there. And of course, another great feature that I like is the fact that it has that built-in display. So that's going to give you basic information about battery life, flight time, and a whole bunch of different other things. So really nice to see there. Now the mount that comes on the controller is very versatile. You could easily fit large, small phones, fit tablets. It pretty much orients itself in any way you like. So very easy and straightforward to basically mount any of your devices onto this controller. Now the first thing you want to do is download the 3DR Solo app on your iOS or Android device. And that should be one of the first steps in order to get these things updated, as well as kind of learn the basics of how to fly this thing. So definitely download that app. That should be priority number one. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is make sure that our Wi-Fi connection is connected to the controller. So go to the Solo link, and I believe the password is just Solo link. So now you can probably turn on your drone. Now it looks like there is an update that we have to do, so you definitely want to make sure that you have the latest update towards everything. So go ahead and make sure you're connected back to your Wi-Fi so you can download those updates. Okay, so it looks like everything is now updated. I'm filming this video on July the 25th, and the current update right now is 1.0.5 on both controller and drone. So if you're purchasing this drone, you might have a newer update down the road, but looks like this is now ready to go. So let's take this thing outside and see how it flies. Okay, so now we're outside, and basically we have the drone right there. And so we're going to wait until we have a GPS lock and maybe do a compass calibration if that's required, and then we'll fly the drone. So in order to calibrate, they're actually telling us to take off the props, which is kind of interesting. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so you want to make sure it's perfectly level, and it's that. Okay, so now it says to put it on its left side. Next. Now you want to put it on the Solo's right side. Next. And then you want it on its front side. Next. And on its back side. And then finally upside down. Finish. And looks like we're all calibrated. And I'm going to go ahead and put on the props, and we should be able to fly. Okay, so now it looks like we're all ready to go. We have a GPS lock, and it's ready to fly, so we should be able to hold that button, and it should take off in the air. So let's go ahead and do that. And right now the props are all turning. Everything looks good so far. If we hold a flight button again, it should be able to take off. So there you can see right there, we have our 3DR flying right there. We don't have a GoPro, but in terms of its flight test, pretty good. Very stable, stays kind of in the same vicinity. And we're not going to do anything too crazy today, but feels good, very responsive. And let's go ahead and take her down for a landing. And if we hold down the takeoff button, it should automatically land very simply. But that's really it, guys. If you have any specific questions, leave it on a comment down below. And we're going to have a full-on review and comparison series of this drone coming up very, very soon. We're going to have the 3-axis gimbal coming in as well. So we'll do a review with that. So it's very comparable to the Phantom 3 Professional. And also I want to give a big shout out to B&H Photo that sent us this drone for a full review. Without them, this video wouldn't be possible. So definitely check them out if you're interested in getting this drone. You'll see the link in the description down below. But other than that, that's really it. Take care.